Hey everyone, today I'm just going to be doing a quick video to showcase my small pedalboard build. It fits right inside this little guy. This is a Mono Tick 2.0 and inside it there is the Mono Lite, not the Lite Plus, because I wanted to specifically use the smallest board I could think of that was still not too small that I couldn't fit what I needed on it, but small enough such that it can be carried around easily. And I think you might have seen it before, but this is it in its current form. Everything I need to play mobile is in this bag. So here I have the board itself. You can see it's pretty clean, nothing coming out the sides. How it's powered is using this battery brick. It's pretty big. I can't remember what the capacity is, but it's enough power to power the board itself. And with that, I also have my wireless system, which I use to play pretty much anywhere I go now, because I realized they're so much quieter than running cables and having interference and all. So all that fits into that little bag. I'm just going to show how I hook it up. Let's start with the power. Actually, if I flip this over, you can see that the board has the canvas stuff underneath. So you have the Canvas 5 providing power for all the pedals, and then you have the Canvas Power USB with a short USB-C cable here, just tied into the board neatly so that I can plug it in if I need to. Yeah, so that gives me 5 plus 1 output, and that 1 output actually is really important because when I'm out and about, that 1 output is used to power my slow gear headphone amp. So all that to be said, here is how I set it up. So you just pull that little power cord out, plug in the power bank, and that starts up the board. So everything is being run off this one power supply over here. So it's pretty neat. So it means I can power this board anywhere that I go without having to look for a wall outlet or something. And of course here I have my stereo outs. This one for today is going into my interface just so I can record what's so that I can record what's going out of the pedal board. And last but not least, of course, is just the wireless units themselves. So this one, I would say blue goes to board, G, green goes to guitars. Just like that, and I'm good to go. Now before I get into some sound samples, perhaps I'm just going to talk through my thought process behind this board. So basically this board is meant for me to take out and about on small gigs that I might have, or if I want to play completely mobile. So if I'm going to be playing in some place where there's no wall outlets and I just go for like some quiet place where I just want isolation away from things, this board is what I take with me, and it has basically what I need. What I need is a compressor. I used to use this exotic SP comp. It's still really good. I do like it a lot. It's just that it tends to be a bit, it has that one sound, and I'm really used to using the Cali 76 on my big board. So I gave this little guy a try, the Sonicake source comp. It's actually really good, and it has all the tweakability that I need in a very small form factor, and it costs less than some strings out there. So definitely give it a try. It's not perfect, but I think it does the job really well. Next is a gain pedal that has 2 sides. I figured that if I'm going to have a small board, I need the versatility to have a pedal that can boost, a pedal that can stack, such that I can get basically 1 sound, 2 sound, 3 sounds, plus clean, that's 4 different levels of gain. Yep, so I had the Brothers AM on this, but I swapped out for the Constant because I really like the EP pre-side. It just adds a different kind of texture to the sound that I really wanted, and I couldn't get out of the Brothers AM. This doesn't have quite as much gain or versatility in terms of EQ, but I think it does the job for what I need. Next, it's the Tonex One. This is basically my amp sim. And there's a nifty little feature inside which I'll demo when we get to the sounds. So the Tonex One allows you to A/B between two different presets. So these are my two presets that I'm running for the small board at this moment. And of course the essentials, you have the Walrus Audio D1 for the delays. This is the, don't know if it's called the Mark II or the version 2, but it's the one where the first one and then they did a second iteration. So I'm guessing it's a Mark, I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's the one that has the, it's the one that you can update via the USB help. Right, and this is of course the R1, which gives me my reverbs. And how I have them set up is basically I keep them on A for presets and then just toggle between 3 essential sounds each. And I'll get to those sounds when we do the sound demo. So yeah, that's how I have it set up. And now I guess we'll move on to some sounds. Alright, now moving on to some sounds. So basically I'm recording straight out of the board into Logic with no effects applied. So this is the sound that comes out of it. So what you're hearing now is just the amp with the compressor on. The amp is from Alter Amp Works, AAW. This is the Luca capture, the V2 capture of Jeffrey Condé's amp. And I have it set, I'm using the number 4 level of gain with the input gain set at 8.5. Yeah. Yeah, so some of you were asking where's your tuner, and actually what I do is I have a clip-on polytune on the guitar, but in a pinch I can actually just use the Tonex One to go into tuner mode, so I can actually just tune, and there you go, I'm not in tune. So yeah, let me just do a quick tune. Right. Alright, so let's move on to some other sounds that we have. So that's my bass tone, and you can hear it already has some gain on it because I actually don't ever play perfectly clean. The EP Blue side. You can hear it just adds a bit of texture and kind of darkens up the tone a bit. It's not as bright. Then we have the red side, or the left side, which is the light speed side of the constant. This one is a fair bit brighter. And of course you can stack them. But where this board really comes alive is when I turn on the wet effects, because I have them configured such that they are in stereo. So this gives me a lot of width. So and now with the verb. Alright, and one thing that I have is I have a second preset here which basically adds a chorus. So if you have stuff like yeah, so the chorus comes in useful for stuff like that. Without it, so So that's the chorus. Just gonna leave the EP side on now for some, just to show what's on the D1 and what's on the R1. So here we have our basic basic dotted 8. Eighth. And the last one is a dual delay. So your typical galloping delay kind of thing, right? But I keep it mainly on the dotted 8 most of the way. And now for the reverbs. So my basic reverb, I think it's on the BFR setting. So this is just basically a big verb for general use. The other thing that I have would be a big plate. So the big plate basically has so much decay and so much mix. It's really just meant And the last one you have, I think it's the air preset where you have some texture to it. So it's I keep it pretty subtle because I don't really like having the high frequencies poke out that much. So it's just barely there in the background. Switching back to the main BFR preset that I have. One of the things I like to do with the R1 is it has this function where if you tap on this button over here, it actually holds whatever was played. So you can hear it. I'm not doing anything now. The reverb is just going on its own. And I can actually just play over it. So it's really useful for getting creative and also for padding out the sound if you need to. So yeah, plenty of sounds you can get out of a tiny footprint. So yeah, that's my small board. Welcome any questions that you may have. If you're thinking of building something like this and you have some questions about how I went about doing it, how I organize my cables, or other things that I hope to have on the board but can't fit just because of the size, yeah, just shoot me some questions down in the comments and let's get talking. See you in the next one.